Imagine this: everything you've ever believed about power, about God, about your place in this world, is a lie. A carefully woven illusion designed to keep you in the dark. Take a moment, close your eyes if you'd like, and picture it. When you think of God, of ultimate power, what do you see? A majestic figure in the sky? A distant entity watching you from above? If that's your vision, you're not alone. Billions of people share that same image. But what if I told you that everything you've been taught about God, about power, might just be a trick? A veil crafted to hide the truth? Pause for a second and let that sink in. For thousands of years, we've been told that God, or whatever supreme force you imagine, is something out there. A king on a throne, a distant savior we must beg for help, someone we depend on. Think about it. From the ancient scriptures of major religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, to the sermons in churches and temples, they all paint the same picture. You and I are small, weak, and separate from the divine. But who created this idea? And more importantly, why? Let me tell you a story. Thousands of years ago, as the first empires rose, from ancient Egypt to mystical Babylon, there were people who understood the true power within us. They knew that inside every human being burns a spark, a divine light capable of creating wonders. But then something shifted. Leaders, kings, and later the institutions of power realized a simple truth. If everyone discovered their own strength, they'd no longer be easy to control. So they built a wall, not of stone, but of ideas. The idea that you need someone outside yourself to save you, to bless you, to guide you. That wall is the illusion of separation. But this isn't just ancient history. Look at yourself. Have you ever wondered why belief alone can heal the body? Science calls it the placebo effect. When someone believes they'll get better, their body starts to heal itself. Or the nocebo effect, when fear and doubt make you weak, even sick. If belief can do that, where does the real power lie? Not out there, but right inside your mind. Ancient wisdom once spoke of this. In the Vedic texts of India, they called it Advaita, non-duality, meaning you and the universe are one. In Gnosticism, they believed God wasn't a distant king, but a light within every soul. Yet these truths were buried, distorted. Why? Because the elite, those behind empires, religions, and systems, knew that if you realized you're not separate from the divine, their grip on power would slip away. So imagine this for a moment. What if you stopped looking to the sky for strength? What if you turned inward and found that everything you need has always been there? We'll dive into that in the next part. But first, ask yourself, are you ready to see through this illusion? Stick around. We're just getting started. So, we've torn down the first layer of the illusion, that idea of a distant God keeping us small and separate. But if that's not the truth, then where is the real power? Where is God, actually? Buckle up, because this might flip everything you've ever thought upside down. What if I told you that God isn't some far-off ruler in the heavens? What if God, the force that moves the stars, that breathes life into everything, isn't out there at all, but right here inside you? Take a deep breath and let that hit you. This isn't a new idea. It's an ancient one, buried under layers of control and distortion. For centuries, the mystics, the sages, the ones who dared to look beyond the surface, they've been whispering this secret. In the ancient texts of India, the Upanishads, there's a phrase, Tat Tvam Asi. It means you are that. You are the very thing you've been searching for. Not a piece of it, not a shadow of it, you are it. The divine isn't separate from you. It's the fire in your thoughts, the pulse in your chest, the spark behind every dream you've ever had. Now, let's go back in time. Picture the dusty roads of the ancient world. Think of the mystery schools in Egypt, the hidden gatherings of the Gnostics, the wandering philosophers of Greece. They all stumbled onto this same truth. There's a saying from the Hermetic teachings, as above, so below. What's in the cosmos is mirrored right here, in you. The universe isn't some giant machine running on its own. It's alive, and you're a living part of it. The Gnostics, those rebels of early Christianity, wrote that the kingdom of God isn't a place you go to. It's inside you, waiting to be found. But here's the kicker. These ideas were dangerous. Too dangerous for the powers that wanted to keep you looking up instead of looking within. Think about it practically for a second. Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something was going to happen, and it did? Or when you felt a surge of inspiration so strong it carried you through a challenge? That's not coincidence. That's the divine energy flowing through you. Your thoughts shaping the world in ways you might not even notice. Modern science is catching up to this, too. Ever heard of the double-slit experiment? It's a wild one, quantum physics showing that just by observing something, you change it. Your consciousness isn't passive. It's a force, a creator. And if that's true, then who's really in charge here? Not some distant deity, but you. Let's bring it to life with a story. Thousands of years ago, in ancient India, there was a sage named Shankara. He walked from village to village, teaching that the world we see, the struggles, the limits, is just an illusion, a play of shadows. The real truth, he said, is that you are Brahman, the infinite consciousness behind it all. People flocked to him not because he promised miracles from the sky, but because he showed them the miracle already inside them. That's the kind of power we're talking about. A power so close, so real, you can feel it right now if you just stop and listen. So why don't we all know this? Why isn't this shouted from the rooftops? Because the moment you realize God isn't out there, that the divine is the energy running through your veins, the whole game changes. You stop waiting for permission. You stop begging for salvation. You start creating. And that, my friend, is exactly what the elite have been trying to hide from you all along. But now that you've glimpsed it, what's next? How do you tap into this force that's been with you since the day you were born? That's where we're headed in the next part. Stay with me, this is only getting better. Alright, let's take everything we've uncovered and crank it up a notch. You've seen through the illusion of separation. You've glimpsed the truth, that the divine isn't some distant figure, but a living force inside you. Now, here's where it gets real. That force isn't just sitting there waiting. It's active. It's alive. It's the energy of creation itself, and you're holding the reins. This isn't about chasing power out in the world. It's about waking up to the power you've always had, the ability to shape reality with your own mind. Let that land for a second. You're not a bystander in this universe, you're a creator. Every thought you think, every feeling you hold, it's like a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. And here's the wild part. The elite, those who've been pulling strings behind the scenes for centuries, they've known this all along. They don't just stumble through life hoping for the best. They harness this energy to build the world they want. The question is, why don't we? Why don't you? Let's travel back in time to see this in action. Picture ancient Egypt, those towering pyramids piercing the sky. They weren't just piles of stone. They were monuments to a people who understood the power of intention. The priests and pharaohs didn't pray to random gods for luck. They aligned their minds with the rhythms of the cosmos, channeling energy into creations that still leave us speechless today. Or take Babylon with its hanging gardens. Legends say they were dreamed into being by rulers who knew how to turn vision into reality. Even in ancient India, the yogis sat in silence, mastering their thoughts to unlock forces most of us can't even imagine. These weren't accidents. These were people tapping into the same energy you've got running through you right now. So what is this energy? It's not magic. It's you. It's your consciousness, that invisible spark that lights up every idea, every emotion. The Hermetic teachings call it the law of vibration. Everything in the universe is energy, moving, resonating. And your mind is the tuning fork. When you focus it, when you pour your intention into it, you send out a signal that the universe can't ignore. Modern psychology backs this up. Think of Carl Jung, who said the unconscious shapes our world in ways we barely notice. Or Neville Goddard, who taught that imagining something vividly, feeling it as real, plants the seed for it to grow into your life. This isn't wishful thinking, it's how creation works. Here's a quick story to bring it home. Thousands of years ago in ancient Greece, there was a sculptor named Pygmalion. He carved a statue of a woman so perfect, so alive in his mind, that he fell in love with it. He didn't just see stone, he saw her breathing, moving, living. and legend says the gods brought her to life. Now strip away the myth, what really happened? His mind, his energy, his unwavering focus turned a dream into something real. That's the power we're talking about. The same power the elite use every day to shape empires, economies, even the way we think. But here's the difference. They guard this secret like it's theirs alone. They know that if you figure out how to wield it, you're no longer a pawn in their game, you're a player. Imagine what you could do with this. That dream you've been carrying, that life you've been longing for, it's not out there waiting for permission. It's in here waiting for you to claim it. The ancients knew it. The elite know it. And now you know it too. So how do you start using it? How do you turn this energy into something you can touch, see, feel? That's what's coming up next. Hang on tight, we're about to get practical. So, we've uncovered the truth. You're not separate from the divine. You're a creator, wired with the energy to shape your world. But if that's the case, why doesn't everyone know it? Why aren't we all living like the ancients, building pyramids or dreaming gardens into existence? The answer is simple, but it's heavy. There's a veil over your eyes. Not one you were born with, but one that's been draped over you, layer by layer, by those who don't want you to see. This is the game the elite have been playing for millennia, and it's time we pull back the curtain. Let's start with the obvious culprits. Think about what you've been taught by schools, by the news, by the systems around you. From the moment you're a kid, you're told to sit still, follow the rules, wait your turn. You're fed a story that life is a grind, that success comes from luck or privilege, that power is something other people have. Sound familiar? That's no accident. It's a script designed to keep you small, to keep you doubting. And who's writing it? The same elite who've always known the secret, that your mind is the key to everything. They don't want you unlocking it. Go back in history, and you'll see how deep this goes. Ever wonder what happened to the Library of Alexandria? One of the greatest collections of knowledge in the ancient world, poof, gone in flames. They say it was an accident, but was it? That library held scrolls from Egypt, Greece, India, texts about the mind, the cosmos, the power within us. When it burned, we didn't just lose books. We lost a roadmap to our own potential. And who benefited? The rulers who wanted obedient subjects, not awakened creators. Fast forward to today, and the tactics have just gotten slicker. Flip on the TV, what do you see? Fearful headlines, endless ads telling you you're not enough, distractions that keep you scrolling instead of thinking. Edward Bernays, the mastermind of modern propaganda, once said you could control a crowd by controlling what they feel. And that's exactly what's happening. Religion tells you to wait for heaven. Media tells you to fear tomorrow. Education tells you to memorize, not question. There's a triple lock on your mind, and the elite hold the keys. But here's the thing, they can't stop you forever. Those veils of ignorance, they're thin, they're fragile. The truth is leaking through, and you're hearing it right now. The elite know that if you wake up, if you see past the fear, the doubt, the noise, their whole system starts to crumble. Because a mind that knows its power can't be controlled. So what do you do with this? How do you rip those veils apart and step into what's yours? That's where we're going next. Get ready, this is about to get real. Alright, the veils are lifting. You've seen the game, the way the elite have kept this power hidden. But knowing it's there isn't enough, you've got to claim it. This isn't about waiting for someone to hand you the keys to your life. It's about waking up the divine energy that's been sleeping inside you all along. And don't worry, I'm not just going to talk at you. I'm going to show you how to do it, step by step, with tools the ancients swore by and science is finally proving. First things first, this power isn't some far-off dream. It's in your thoughts, your feelings, your breath, right here, right now. The yogis of India called it prana, the life force you can feel when you close your eyes and focus. Modern science calls it neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you feed it. Either way, it's yours to use. So how do you wake it up? Start with stillness. Find 5 minutes today. Sit down, breathe deep, let the noise fade. Feel that quiet space inside you. That's where it lives. Next, picture what you want. Not just a vague wish, see it like it's already real. This is what the ancients called creative visualization. Imagine you're holding your dream in your hands. Feel the weight of it, the texture, the joy. Neville Goddard, a master of this, said imagination creates reality. And he was right. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vivid in your mind. Scientists back this up. When you visualize, your neurons fire like it's happening. You're planting seeds in the soil of creation. Now, here's the secret sauce. Feel it. Thinking alone won't cut it, you've got to match it with emotion. Want peace? Feel calm flood your body. Want abundance? Feel the gratitude of having it now. The Tantra traditions of India knew this. Emotion is the fuel that turns a thought into a force. Even today, studies on heart-brain coherence show that when your heart and mind align, you radiate an energy that shifts everything around you. Doubt blocks it. Belief unleashes it. One last piece. Let go. This sounds crazy, but clinging to your desire creates resistance. The ancients taught this as detachment. Set your intention, feel it fully, then trust it's on its way. Picture a kite. You launch it, but you don't choke the string, you let it soar. That's how you shift from victim to creator. Try it today. Pick one small thing, visualize it, feel it, release it. Watch what happens. This isn't theory, it's practice. You've got the tools now. Stillness, vision, emotion, trust. The elite can't take that away from you. So start small, start today, and watch that sleeping power wake up. What's it going to build? That's what we'll explore next. You're in the driver's seat now. Let's see where this takes us. Here we are, the final piece of the puzzle. You've seen the illusion, found the power within, and learned how to wake it up. Now it's time to use it. This isn't just about tweaking your life. It's about building a whole new reality. Not just for you, but for everyone. Because when you step into this, you're not alone. You're part of something bigger, something the ancients dreamed of. A world where we all know who we really are. Imagine this. A planet full of creators. No one waiting for permission, no one bowing to fear. What happens if every single one of us wakes up to this energy? The old systems, the ones built on control, scarcity, doubt, they'd collapse like a house of cards. The elite know this, and it's why they've fought so hard to keep us asleep. But the tide's turning. You're proof of that. Every thought you align, every vision you bring to life, it's a ripple. And those ripples, they add up. The ancients had a name for this vision, the Golden Age. A time when humanity remembers its power and builds a world of harmony, not division. Some call it the Age of Aquarius, a cosmic shift where consciousness rises. Science even hints at it. Look at the Maharishi effect. When a group meditates together, crime drops, peace spreads. It's not magic. It's energy, collective and unstoppable. That's what's possible when we all tap in. But it starts with you, right now. You're not just a listener anymore, you're a builder. That dream you've been holding, it's not selfish. It's a brick in this new reality. Maybe it's a business that lifts people up, a family rooted in love, a community that thrives. Whatever it is, it matters. Every time you